Hello everybody, Minus here, and we've reached our conclusion in our quest to cover the class changes for Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, which were unveiled via their website update on August 30th, 2020. Step with us into the energy-woven realm of time, living within all instances in one fleeting moment as we meet Pantheon's Shaman. So let's start with the general Shaman information listed at the top of the class page. In an obvious attempt to clean up the role designation of the classes, Shaman has been changed from previously being listed as Healer, Support, and Utility to now being listed as just Healer. Resource Management has seen no changes and continues to list Shaman as Mana and Vision for their key resources. Armor has had a significant change, however, as previously Shaman were listed as being able to wear Cloth, Leather, and Light Mail. That said, now the Shaman's highest tier of available armor is Heavy Leather and Shields which were previously listed under weapon types. A quick note here, lay off my rogue gear, Shaman, but jokes aside, this is an interesting change in my head as I envision a Shaman in Light Mail, and I'm very curious to what potential Shaman players think about this change. I guess it makes sense not to wear mail if you're harnessing lightning, but I don't know. In regards to weapons, previously Shaman were listed as being able to use one-handed blunt and piercing, as well as two-handed blunt. Clarity has been added to the new site as specific weapon types of dagger, short spear, long spear, club, mace, stave, quarterstaff, and long staff are now listed. We saw no race changes listed across the entirety of the class pages, so Shaman remains the same with Archai, Elf, Human, Ogre, and Scar as available races. So let's jump into the new or changed abilities that are now listed on the website. Hand of Chaos is a new ability, which acts as a direct heal but also increases in potency if Mantle of Mist is active on the target. The previous spell called Gift of the Rainlands has been renamed to Echo of the Rainlands and has changed a bit. First, it's no longer listed as a water boon and no longer lists as an increase in power if Mantle of Mist is on the target. Other than that, it remains the same as it sends out a healing over time effect to your group. These previously mentioned effects could easily be added via mastery, so it's worth keeping an eye on. Scorched Fog has changed only slightly as it no longer lists the ability to cause the enemy to be more likely to land glancing blows. Windstrider is a new spell, which increases the movement speed of your allies. This addition appears to show that not only druids will be able to increase speed, but also Shaman. Fang of Harun has been renamed Sting of the Silver Wisp, from what we can tell, and instead of listing nature damage, it now lists poison damage. Now, it's worth noting that we could be wrong here in our assessment, but it does seem to line up well, so we're going with it. Choking Thirst appears to be renamed Waterless Wastes and has a slight change in that it doesn't seem to make the enemy more vulnerable to poison and disease-based attacks. However, again, that could be a prime candidate for Mastery adding that ability in later. Headwinds has changed rather considerably, as previously the spell was used to reduce aggro and assist radius of enemies. However, now the spell puts enemies into a windswept state. So as we jump now into the removed or omitted abilities section, please note that that does not mean these are gone forever. They're just simply not listed on the website. Now, we've stated this in all our previous class videos, but the Shaman is a prime example to this being true, as we've seen Shaman in-game within Project Fairthale and know that some of these abilities still exist, although could possibly be slightly changed. So let's look at them. Chase the Wind is a gust of wind that propels you forward and increases your movement speed temporarily. Primordial Bonds is a passive ability that heals you for some of the healing effects on others. Keeper of Elemental Masteries is a passive ability that increases your healing abilities for each elemental school you have active on an enemy target. Ancient Focus is a passive ability that allows health and mana regeneration in battle. Agewalker's Companion was an ability that details the Shaman bond with a Spirit Companion in battle. This Spirit Companion, as we've learned, will be able to phase in and out of the physical realm, allowing the Shaman to cast different abilities in each state. Agewalker's Gift is an ability that upon death, the Shaman can manifest into an ethereal state for a short period of time before returning to their bind spot. This allows you to drag your own corpse to safety and perform certain spells until it expires. Part the Veil is a resurrection ability to be used out of combat. However, if you're under the effects of Agewalker's Gift, you can use this to resurrect an ally in combat with full health and mana with no resurrection sickness. Reptilian Veil will buff members of the group with poison and disease resistances and also increase their natural health regeneration. Skymane's Memento increased your allies' attack speed. Grip of the Craigs increased strength and stamina for your group. Adept's Theory would increase wisdom for your shaman for a short time. And Interlocking Stones would increase armor class for you and your group members. Now moving on from the core abilities of the shaman, let's look at which healing and offense abilities were left off currently for the time being. Hand of Avelu was a targeted healing ability which would heal an ally and then heal the rest of the group for a smaller amount. Gates of Forgotten Eras was an ability that would stop a group member from moving and taking damage. The damage absorbed would then be released on the group, dispersed evenly, effectively redirecting the damage of a party member. Moving on to offensive abilities, Shackle of the Dust Eater would debuff an enemy and decrease their strength, stamina, and resource regeneration for a short time. Wreath of Coals would damage an enemy over time and make them more vulnerable to fire-based attacks. Sting of the Scorpion would cause damage over time and make an enemy more vulnerable to nature-based attacks. Withering would reduce an enemy's armor class for a short period of time. And finally, Deluge would drench all enemies in an AoE around the target and slow their movement speed while disrupting their health regeneration. It also states it caused enemies to become wet. Now, we've seen a lot of the Shaman class during the reveals of Project Fairthale and even got treated to a very specific Shaman reveal video which showed how Mastery worked and reviewed a lot of their different abilities. So as we've said before, the removed list isn't final, and these abilities could make a comeback as they are slightly reworked. This is shown to be very true, and we know some of the abilities that are no longer listed on the site have been seen in the streams. So once again, remember, removed or omitted is not gone forever. I think they did a great job representing the Shaman on this new class page. We get to see a variety of healing spells which paint a picture of not only direct but healing over time effects, and we get to see some buff and debuff mechanics that'll make the Shaman a truly great healing and support class. We also know from streams that the Spirit Pet will be present, as it is now able to take on a physical or ethereal state to change how the Shaman's abilities and passives could work. Knowing more about the Shaman paints a really good picture of what we can expect and seeing a lot of fun reveals for all of the classes even after the updates. The Shaman looks to be a very powerful ally, so how do all of you looking to play the Shaman feel about its current update? So thank you once again to everyone who has taken part on this journey through the class pages with us. It's been a long dig, but a rewarding one that has taught us a lot about the evolution of Pantheon's classes. Remember that when watching any of these videos, the spell lists are not complete. There's still a ton out there and a ton of mastery to discover. We hope you enjoyed watching as much as we have creating, so please let us know in the comments what you liked, what you'd like to see more of, or what you would change for future class updates. Until next time, everyone.